Alright, so don't worry, this movie is way more interesting than its four-letter title. Hello and welcome to Sci-Fi-Night. I'm your host, Sebastian Vendel Martinez, and this is the show where we check out some of the lesser-known sci-fi and horror movies out there and let you know what to expect from them. So, in this episode, we're checking out the best modern sci-fi film that you've never seen. The 2009 sci-fi flick Moon is written and directed by Duncan Jones, who also directed the sci-fi action film Source Code, as well as the adaptation of World of Warcraft. The film stars Sam Rockwell, Kevin Spacey's voice, and no one else. Yeah, like, that's the cast. Okay, sure, there are a couple more characters in it, but the entire cast is made up of less than 10 people, and you don't even see them for most of the film. 95% of the characters in the movie are Rockwell and Spacey isn't even in it, he just does voice work for a robot. Alright, so with that description, you're probably thinking that this is one of those boring, artsy films where the main actor gets high on something and eats a live fish and freaks out in what is sure to be a hit at Sundance. But no, despite what this sounds like, this is actually a really entertaining and interesting film. The film follows Rockwell, who plays the astronaut Sam, the only living human working at an almost completely automated moon base, along with a robot Gertie, voiced by Kevin Spacey. Sam has been on the moon for almost 3 years, and the loneliness, along with him missing his family, is starting to drive him crazy.
How are things down there? You guys been to any good parties or anything? Oh, thanks for the football feed. It almost felt alive and almost.
Also, he seems to be getting strangely sick. The company he works for are also acting a little shady. Now what's the deal with that smiley-faced robot? Is he up to something? I'm watching you, Spacey.
How do repairs looking?
Sam, you're out of bed.
Yeah. I'm gonna stretch my legs.
What was that? We've been having some problems with the lunar sat.
One day while out in the field, Sam discovers something crazy, something he thought he'd never find on the moon. And that's about where I need to stop with the plot, because I can't really say anything more without it going into major spoiler territory, and this is one of those movies where the less you know about it, the better. Alright, so since I can't really talk anymore about the plot and story, let's talk about the production and what makes this movie so great. So while we're at it, I would actually recommend not watching the trailers, as some of them actually reveal the plot twist, because yeah, you know, why get the viewer interested in watching a film when you can just spoil the twist and ruin it for them?
Why don't you listen to me?
Alright, so interestingly enough, this whole trailer spoiling the ending kind of thing also happened in the movie May, which we've reviewed, and you can see that by clicking the annotation on the screen. So it really seems that some trailer editors need to check themselves before they wreck the movie. And themselves. Alright, so back to Moon. This is actually the directorial debut of Duncan Jones, who before this was mostly just known for being David Bowie's son. This was a fantastic debut that really paved the way for Jones, and he's gone from the $5 million movie Moon to the $100 million big budget blockbuster Warcraft. The film itself is so fantastic because of great acting, writing, and directing. The cinematography is subtle, ambient, and gives off a real sense of isolation, as we very much feel for Sam and his situation. This is a very small-scale film with few sets and characters, but this is truly a blockbuster when it comes to ideas and emotion. So basically, the concepts in this film are so much bigger than any action scene could be. I mean, there are basically 2 locations in the entire movie, inside the moon base and outside. But still, despite that, it's just fucking great. I mean, yeah, there's one-ish human character, 2 major sets, so you probably shouldn't expect a single action scene, but this is a damn exciting film despite that. This is a character-driven movie that is excellent when it comes to story and performance, but it's so much more engaging than any shaky cam action bullshit scene you'll see in most wide releases. You want to know what happens, you want Sam to succeed, and you won't believe what kind of crazy stuff is going on at this lunar industry's base. Alright, so I've hyped up the movie quite a bit, but what should you expect from it? Smart, serious sci-fi. This is real old school sci-fi combined with a fresh look and direction of good modern filmmaking. Chances are you won't notice how minimalistic this film actually is due to the interesting story and fabulous performances, which is great. And I just love the somber, brooding feel that gets amped up as things start kicking off. This returns to the high concept feel of classic sci-fi films such as 2001: A Space Odyssey or Solaris, as well as more modern scaled down sci-fi like Ex Machina and Gattaca. All of these are excellent films, by the way, and Moon definitely belongs with such great company.
That's terrific. It's fantastic.
A one-man show. God damn, Sam Rockwell is good in this. Sure, he's been great in films like Confessions of a Dangerous Mind and The Green Mile, but for some reason he's easily forgotten in Hollywood. Rockwell holds this film pretty much all by himself, with some help from a creepy robotic Kevin Spacey voice.
Sam, I'm under strict orders not to let you outside.
I don't appreciate that. It's being treated like a child. I don't appreciate it.
Had Rockwell not worked in this film, the whole movie wouldn't have worked either. But luckily for us, he delivers big time, which is great praise for someone who I first remember from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Now that is a long way to come.
Check it out, man. Anything you guys want, we got. Anything you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Anything. You got any cigarettes? Regular or menthol?
An underrated gem. So why has nobody seen this movie? Well, aside from the people who requested it, in which case, good job guys. Still though, this stands as one of the best sci-fi films in years, but it's hardly treated like it. It deserves so much more praise as it can accomplish so much with so little. This film is proof that a big idea can take you much farther than a big budget.
I need to get laid. I'm gonna go back to work.
So like I said, this is a smaller scale film, but it's definitely not something that's just trying to win awards, because it actually has quite a bit of humor and exciting moments. However, with that in mind, you can't expect something super action-packed, so this is definitely something more chilled and relaxed than your average alien invasion. If you liked some of the films that I mentioned, such as 2001 and Ex Machina, or other similar films like Gravity or The Martian, then I highly recommend this. It's not so extravagant, but it's not really trying to be.
But even if you're not a fan of science fiction, it's a very human story, and I think it's a very unusual kind of film. I mean, I'm not sure quite how else to put it.
It's a film that does exactly what it wants to do and also manages to deliver a damn satisfying ending to top off what has already been a great film up till then. If you want to do your brain a favor after seeing crap like the Transformers films, then watch this.
That's it. Over and out. Rock and roll. God bless America.
So that about does it for this episode of Sci-Fi-Night. We hope you enjoyed it. As always, you should let us know what you thought of this episode, the movie Moon, and your suggestions for future content in the comments below. So until then, I'm your host, Sebastian Mandel Martinez, and we'll catch you guys next time.
2 weeks to go, Sam.
2 weeks to go, buddy.
Would you like some hot sauce on your beans?
No, my tummy's a little tender, actually. But thank you. Thank you, Gertie.
You're welcome, Sam.